Today on the 5-minute book review starring Curtis and Ian, well, it's a fact. Saskatchewan holds a rich folklore collection of spooky ghost stories. It's true. It's true. Who knew? Well, the ladies from the Mar residence, that's who. But beyond them, Saskatchewan ghost stories have kind of remained somewhat dormant over the years until about a decade ago they were sought after and collected and put in print form and thus became, that's right, Ghost Stories of Saskatchewan. Coin toss to start, and Curtis is the winner. Today on the 5-minute book review starring Curtis and Ian, we're going to go back in time. We're going to take a look at a cultural phenomenon here in the prairies anyways. It's Ghost Stories of Saskatchewan by Joanne Christensen, who on the back, if you read, lives in Alberta. But she's writing about Ghost Stories of Saskatchewan, whatever. If I was in Alberta, I'd write about Saskatchewan too. Okay, Ghost Stories of Saskatchewan. What's scary about Saskatchewan? Turns out a lot. Nothing really new in like the 80s and 90s, but lots of stuff in the 20s and 30s when things were scary, in the 40s and 50s. Did I enjoy this book? Yes. Do I enjoy ghost stories? Yes. Do I enjoy ghost stories this close to home? That's debatable. There's a couple of times where I was like all excited. I'm like, I was there. Oh, that's kind of not cool. I was there, and apparently it's haunted. Again, the premise of the book I really like. The spin-offs, there's like 100 spin-offs. There's like, Ghost Story of Idlewild. I don't know. It seems to have gotten a little bit out of control. This was the first. Ian's got the second. I was a fan. Ian, thoughts on Ghost Stories in Saskatchewan?
It's a very enjoyable read. I mean, it's anything local I enjoy, just simply because there's so much content coming from outside of the prairies. Getting local stuff is great, especially local stuff like this. I mean, we're all familiar with ghost stories from around the world. There's different things that you get. You can pick up books from a variety of things. It's nice to pick up content like this that's from Saskatchewan, that's from Alberta, that's from the prairies, I know what you mean, though, about reading them and then going through this story, and the tale behind it that leads to this horrific ghost story kind of thing, and you're like, great, I was there, and there was a ghost trying to kill me, and I didn't know it. It's a good time. They're fun reads. It is such an awesome series. There's a lot of books in this series now, and it's expanded, of course, past Saskatchewan too. But it is a fantastic book to read. The one I have here is number 5 in a series. I mean, it is. I can't stress enough how a good time these books are. How much fun it is to read this kind of content from a local perspective. I greatly enjoy it.
I was making fun of Joanne for being in Alberta and writing about books in Saskatchewan. But the funny thing is I read these when I was living in Brandon, Manitoba, so it's like this cross-Canada thing we've done. Honestly, about every fourth or fifth story genuinely freaked me out. They're fun little campfire stories. There are a few that are just downright damn scary, Ian. It's those were a little tougher to get through when you're reading them in Brandon, far away from home in the middle of nowhere, but all in all, great. What a rush. Enjoyable read, Ian.
If you need a hug, I can be more than happy to give you one. I'll tell you, I know exactly what you're talking about. Most of the stories in this book they're a load of fun, but there are a few that literally scared the crap out of me. Like, I'm not easily freaked out by stuff I'm reading or watching or whatever. These books, they've got some solid stories in them that I highly enjoyed and that are honestly freaky ones, and you wouldn't think you'd get that from the prairies, but there are.
Where were you in 2001, Ian, when I needed that hug that night in Brandon, Manitoba? I stayed up all night reading these books back to back. That's the fourth one you got, Ian? The fifth one
of the series, yeah.
I thought that was the sequel, because I read this one and that one.
It's a sequel to that book, but there's other books in the series for different parts of the prairies.
I'm getting a nosebleed. Ian. There's too many books. We should brought them all on. We should make like a montage collage. We should spend the next. We should roll into 2010 just reviewing Ghost Stories books.
Oh, we can easily do that.
Stories from Moon Lake.
The 47th book from just outside my house.
Yes, Ghost Stories from the corner of the bookstore. We do the 5-minute book review. How all the books behind us weep each week. We come in and do this and talk about books.
As do the people that have to watch us.
Yeah, it's only funny because it's true.
I know.
They like ghost stories, Ian.
They love ghost stories, Curtis.
Definitely.
And they love us.
I would say read this book. Maybe don't read it alone. Read it over at Ian Goodwillie's house.
Come to my house and I'll give you a hug. Don't worry.
He'll hug you when you're scared. He's a big guy. He'll hug you.
I'll hold you. Read it.
We should have turned the lights off for that one, Ian. That would have really scared me.
I got weird really fast.